Good morning, 5th years. Happy New Year to you all. So we're not going to do a Zoom class today. What's going to happen is we're going to pick and choose when to do the Zoom classes, right? I put this video up on Google Classroom. So your work for today, Monday the 11th, is to revise the start of Chapter 9, Coordinate Geometry of the Line. I'm going to do a bit of work with you here now on the camera, and then I'm going to put your homework at the end of this video, okay? So what the homework is going to be, what I'm going to be doing here now, right? So not much work today, ease ourselves back in, but when we touch base tomorrow, I expect you to know this, please, so please complete the work. Right, so we're looking at coordinate geometry of the line, and we have looked at, so far, we've looked at the distance, we've looked at midpoint. Bear with me with the camera will focus. We looked at the slope. Okay, that's the three things we looked at. So if I've got 2 points, let's call A 3, 4 and B 6, 9. Okay, as I said, bear with me with the camera. It shouldn't be that bad. It does focus after a while, right? The notation for distance is going to be AB next to each other and 2 lines there, right? And if you remember, if you have your tables at home, which you should have, this is what's in your tables for the distance. So just revision. So what we do is we label this x1, y1, x2, y2. Doesn't matter if you label that one x2, y2, x1, y1, you get the same answer, okay? And we substitute the values in. You can do this in one go in calculator, but you have to show your work in, right? So x2 is 6, bracket 6 minus x1, which is 3, all squared, plus y2 is 9, minus 4, all squared. Type that into the calculator, and there's your answer, okay? Normally, if it doesn't say in the question, you do it to 2dp, 2 decimal places. Okay, the midpoint, again, go to your tables. That's what's given to you for the midpoint. Okay, so we just use the numbers again. We go x1 and x2, 3 plus 6, all over 2, comma, because we're looking for coordinates now. Here we're looking for a distance, here we're looking for coordinates, so that's why there's a comma there, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. 4 plus 9, y1 plus y2 is 4 plus 9. Okay, and we simplify then as much as possible. 3 plus 6 is 9, so 9 over 2, 4 plus 9 is 13 over 2, and I'm going to leave them like that. Okay, you can put in, 4.5 if you want, etc. 6.5. Okay. So that's the midpoint of these 2 points. Right. Now, before I do the slope, I'm going to sketch these now quickly, because it's always handy to sketch them. You go across first, yeah, 3, 4, that's A, sketch, and we go across 6, 9, 6, that's 3, 6, 9, that's B. So that's kind of line segment, we call that. There. You need to know, you should recall from before Christmas, anything sloping this way is positive, anything sloping that way is negative. The steeper the slope, the bigger the number. Okay. In your tables you have you don't have rise over run actually, but we used rise over run, didn't we? And we also in the table just y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's do the tables method first. Some of you might find it easy to do rise over run. I don't mind as long as we show our workings. 9 take away 4 is y2 minus y1. 6 take away 3 is x2 minus x1. 6 take away 3, so that's 5 over 3, and leave it like that, okay? If it's a fraction with a slope, we just leave it like that. Rise over run is how much to go up and how much to go across, okay? So upwards, don't forget this is 3, 4 for A, and across 6, 9, okay? So upwards goes from 4 to 9, that's 5 up, isn't it? And across 3 to 6, which is 3, okay? So we get the same answer. Okay, so that's it. That's your crash course. We've gone 5 minutes there now. There's 2 other things you need to know about slopes as well, by the way, before I give you your homework. So to recap, we need to know how to work these 3 out. We need to know actually how to draw them. I sketched it there, but you should be able to draw your axes pretty good. And one more thing with slopes. If I have 2 lines that don't meet, they are parallel, don't they? They're positive slopes. If the slope of this one is 1, the slope of this one is also going to be 1. Parallel slopes, parallel lines have the same slope. If I have 2 lines that are perpendicular, that means they're at a right angle to each other. That means they must multiply to give -1. Right? So that's the important one. These 2 bits of information are not on the tables. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, the 2 slopes multiply to give -1. So let's look at this, right? So if the slope of this is 2, that's positive, isn't it? The slope of this one is going to be negative. So 2 times what gives me -1? To find the second slope, we need to find that number. It's going to be 2 times -1/2. Okay, let's go over here for a second. If we call that x, go back to algebra, 2x equals -1. 2 times something, 2 times x equals -1. Divide by 2, both sides. X equals -1/2. Okay. So the slope of this one's got to be -1/2. Let's look at another one. If I give you a slope here of -1/3, there's a line there with a slope of -1/3, -1/3, and I want to find the slope of this line, which is at a right angle, perpendicular. -1/3 times what gives me -1? Let's try and do a bit of algebra here as well. -1/3 times x equals -1. Multiply both sides by -3. -3 times -1/3 just gives me 1x. Sorry. -3 times -3 is 1x. -3 times -1 is equal to 3. So -1/3 times 3 is equal to -1. So the slope of this line is 3. Now we do have a shortcut here for this method, right? Autofocus please, camera. Okay, so listen, the shortcut is as follows. Go back to this example. We had a slope of 2, we found here what? This one was -1/2. 2 is the same as 2 over 1, isn't it? So if I flip that fraction, flip that and change the sign, I get -1/2. Let's look at this. I gave you -1/3. Yeah. If I flip the fraction, change the sign, I get 3 over 1, the slope was 3. Okay? So if you get perpendicular slopes, another way of remembering is to change the fraction. So if I give you a slope, over here now with my pen is please, if I give you a slope of 3/4, the perpendicular line will have a slope of -4 over 3. Flip the fraction, change the sign. If I give you a slope of -5, that's the same as -5 over 1. Flip the fraction, change the sign. The perpendicular slope is 1/5. -2/3, the perpendicular slope is going to be 3 over 2. Change the sign, flip the fraction. Okay, so that's your learning for today. Here is your homework. So make a note of this in your copy please, and put it up in the assignment section on Google Classroom by Tuesday's class. So by 9:30 on Tuesday, before the start of class, I need to see the homework please up on Google Classroom. Right, question 1. I have 2 coordinates, P is minus 2, 3, and Q is 6, 4. Right? I want you to find PQ, the distance. I want you to find the midpoint, so 1, 2, and I want you to find the slope. So PQ, distance, midpoint, slope. Focus camera. Okay, so P is minus 2, 3, Q is 6, 4. Okay, distance, midpoint, and slope. I also want you to find the slope of a line perpendicular to PQ. Okay, so that's it. Please, let's start these online classes with a bang. Everyone get the homework up to me by start of class Tuesday. Thank you.